Welcome to the dark ages of technology, where you pay trillions a year for your lighting. Would you like to pay more for your nose, or would you like to pay less? Well, come on in and check her out. We've got 3 lighting tests here to try out today. One is what you see, the original lighting in this basement. 2 incandescent 60-watt light bulbs. Woo-ha! You can't hardly do anything down here. It's too dark. What's going on? Can't you guys get light down here? Well, I'm going to show you what is going on in this basement. First off, I have to explain that between the technologies, incandescent lighting was good for the day. Well, now we need to move on to the newer. I'm still for incandescent lighting. I like it for the upstairs, but for work areas you need to have better lighting and more energy savings. And this is what I've done to the basement since last year, and I've enjoyed it. I gotta let you know that it's 50 degrees down here all winter long. Kinda cold, but the fluorescent lightings does not work very good down here in the cold. They have to warm up before you actually can use them. And with the LEDs, they're just basically like the incandescent technology. They just come on no matter what. Whether it's 50 degrees down here or whether it's 65 degrees down here. I mean, 65 degrees in the summer, 50 degrees in the winter. So they work fine all year round. But fluorescents, they only work really good in the summertime when it was 65. So what I'm going to show you is I got an electric meter. I'm going to compare the lighting between the fluorescent and the LEDs, and I will show you the wattage usage per fixture, or not really per fixture, but for the entire setup. There's about 7 LED light bulbs down here. There's 12 fluorescent light bulbs down here. So for the lighting, you're actually getting more out of your LEDs than you are out of the fluorescent lighting. They're about 80 watts for one fixture. It's not that bright, and I couldn't hang that many down here. So if you got fluorescent lighting, I do recommend to upgrade if you can. And if you have the fixtures already installed, great, just buy the bulbs. Well, let's get going, and I'll show you what's going on in here. Well, but first, let me actually just give you a tour of the basement with what the lighting has already to offer. There's not much. And then I'll show you right then the fluorescent and the LEDs, which they are much better than what these are putting out. Alright, so once you come down these stairs here, there's one light bulb here, and to get to the fuse room, there's absolutely no lighting in here whatsoever. And the only time that there's lighting is when it's daylight outside, because there's windows over there. You can't even see those with the lighting as it is. And to fix the furnace, you have this little light. Woo-ha! You can hardly do too much with that back in the old days. And you had to bring down the old lighting. I mean, there is a receptacle in that fixture up there, but then you gotta have wires dangling down all over the place. Okay, now as you see, these are the fluorescent lighting, and not bad for this little section here. There's one right over this area, and there's some behind me, but it's still not that bright down here. And I'll show you. I'm just going to give you a quick run through the basement and show you what's lit. So in this little work area, there's one here, one over here, and 2 over in this section. Now for the stairs, you have no lighting whatsoever. That's causing for a trip. Over here in the fuse room, now you can see there's two fixtures running over there, and you can actually see the fuse box now. And over here you can see in the crawl space, which you couldn't see before, where our storage area is. And now is the LED lighting running. Much better. And it's not directional lighting like the fluorescents were, but they still do a pretty good job. Right over me is the 100 watt LED warm white light. Not too bad, but I think I might replace it just because the day white lights that I have in the other section of the basement light up everything a lot better. And these are good for up in the house, upstairs where you have sheetrock, and you can get better lighting. And the other thing I forgot to point out is I do have the strip day white light LEDs. Don't use them anymore because they don't stick very good on the beams. I've actually had to put a cob job in them and make them so they stick up there with some packing tape. But they weren't bright enough down here. Anyhow, I'll give you a quick tour of the lighting down here, and then we'll get to the power tests. So now, much better lighting. There's a light bulb right above the stairs. Instead of having 4 bulbs in this section, we only have 2. And it's still and over here we have the same one. We just have just one single LED day white light. I think it's actually brighter in there, and it's actually brighter all over, and even in the other section. We have one over here by this storage area. These two over here. And this one right here. And then the other one's over this work area. And this one's 100 watt too. As you can see, it's almost 500 watts. And once these light fixtures finally get warm, they will be 500 watts. And they're not very warm right now since we haven't been running them too long. So now let's get to the LEDs. So it's about 163.6 watts for these LEDs. Not bad compared to 500 or 700. And I prefer to go with these. And I can have them battery powered. And I also can do it powered up in my generator. Here's the actual circuit for the LEDs from switching it from regular 110 to the UPS system down here. And right there is the UPS system. That stands for uninterruptible power supply. And when that goes offline, the batteries will come on and the lights will stay on. So I hope you enjoyed this little introduction to the basement and what's going on. But I do recommend that you you try these out. And overall, the light bulbs costed $65 last year for 7 of them, and I actually had to install wiring and switches, so that was about, let's say, $100 parts for the cables and the fixtures and electrical boxes. And depends on the place that you get them at, but I do recommend that you try out saving today. And I also am not making an advertisement for the GE company. I'm just a happy customer. And I do recommend that you just make your decision, try it today.